Hi everyone, I am one of Auntie Melly's godchildren, Katrine. I'd like to provide the highlights of her life and the details throughout the room. She was born on February 8, 1949 to Epitacio and Epifania Dial and given the name Emilia Pangilinan Dial. She is the eldest to her siblings, Maximo, Ricolito, Teddy, Helen, and Luz. She eloped and married Antonio Gamponia on February 19, 1977 in the Philippines and later had a church wedding March 1978 in the United States. They had their first and only child, Anne-Marie, on October 6, 1978. Auntie Melly worked for one company, Chicago Title, from October 1969 and retired October 2004. She became a widow in November 2002. She gained a son-in-law, Mike, on October 2, 2004, became a grandmother to her first grandson, Devin, on December 1, 2005, and again to her second grandson, Jackson, on January 10, 2014. Onset of vascular dementia began early months of 2014. She began dialysis due to stage 5 renal failure in June 2014 and finalized treatment on May 26, 2018. She began hospice May 28, 2018, and passed away peacefully at home early morning of June 9, 2018. Today, we celebrate the life of Emilia Gamponia, also known as Mom, Mama to her grandsons, Mama Melly, Auntie Melly, Melly, Auntie Sis, and of course forever known as Sis. She loved her family, church, coworkers, neighbors, and friends. She enjoyed socializing and had a passion to serve and feed the homeless. This led her to join the homeless outreach, which had her preparing gallons of soup or having Auntie Esther cook pots of rice, chicken, and pancit every week during the cold season. She was beyond generous with providing food for anyone and giving money. Truly a person who would give you every penny she had. She loved celebrations, always gathering family and friends to have meals together. Before cell phones and texting, she was the person who made mass phone calls. Her favorite foods were Milky Way, patis, which is fish sauce, and drinking endless amounts of Coke and Diet Coke. She loved her Coca-Cola so much that red became one of her favorite colors. If you didn't know, she had the greenest thumb around. Every seed given to her always flourished. She loved her flowers, especially red roses. She loved her family and friends so much that she made each one feel as though they were her favorite person. There's so much more about Auntie Melly, but you had to be there to experience the kind of joy she shared with everyone. She will truly be missed and always be loved.
This one's for you, sis. I know how much you love young kids, so I made sure that all my grandkids are around watching you up in heaven. Sis, I remember the days when I was young and how much I used to always drive you everywhere and how much you loved yellow roses. I tried to pick a place with yellow roses, but there was none. Sis, I'm glad you're not in pain anymore. I love you. Love you so much, sis.
Sis, you're home. The race is over. You didn't die. You just changed addresses on us. You're now home in the presence of Christ in His full and richness. And we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you dearly. Your life was demonstrative of the fruits of the Spirit, charity, forbearance, love for all those that you met. And you just set an example for all of us to emulate. But one thing I will never forget is when we were in church one day, you always wore the scarf and the heavy jacket, and I thought you were cold. And it turns out you were hiding a small sorry store inside the jacket. And you looked at me and you said, "I'm hungry." And you whipped out a plate of chicken and rice and started munching down. And I told you, "Dilihan mo, she's almost done with the service." And you said, "No, tagal pa. Phoebe's daldalera." And that's what we loved about you. You were just real. And we will miss you. God bless you. Reserve a seat at the table.
They always say that all good things come to an end, but this is not the end because this is the beginning of a new life for Sis. But I just want to really express my gratitude towards her because she has always been so generous. She's so giving, and I will miss her, especially in that area, because she's the one who always brought our family together. Love you, Sis.
I just want to say something about Sis because she has greatly affected my family and myself. She's one individual who gave everything to help me and her siblings. And as I can remember, she's so generous and so kind to me and my family. She always spoke gently, so gentle in a soft way, never raised her voice somehow, and we always get a call from her to come over and just to have a get together. I tell you, Sis was something else because she gave her heart, her passion in just keeping the family together. Without her, I think we would all be different in this particular time. And so my sister is no longer, I'm rejoicing with her because she's no longer bound in her bed, no longer bound in her wheelchair. She has no more pain, and I take the promise of God that we will see her once again, and I know she is saved, and I thank her by the grace of God that we had a chance to live with her with the 69 years here on earth, and that way we'll see her this time and be rejoicing with you, sis, in heaven. So again, at least there's no more illness in your body, and I just praise God for that. And I just want everyone to know that Sis' generosity really impacted everyone, and I see that through Anne and the grandchildren, Devin and Jackson. I thank God because we see Sis through them also.
We will miss you, sis. Thank you for everything.
All right, and we'll see you again.
Hello, my name is Rick. I'm Millie's brother, third one in the family. First of all, I want to thank everyone for coming today, for your support and your love. How can I describe my sister to you? Well, you know, as you can see, we're over here at the lemon trees over here at Poway, and this is one of her favorite spots. And every time we would go over here, we would pick lemons, lots of lemons. Not only one bag, but 3 or 4 bags. She says she needs lots of lemons. But you know, my sister is more than about lemons, lemon trees or whatever. But she was a great part of our family gatherings. She would always volunteer to cook, volunteer to bring something. And during New Year's Day, she would always invite everybody to come. My sister is always there. She's a gathering saint, I would call. And you know, I would always read the scripture to her in the hospital. And before she passed away, I read the scripture to her, Revelation 21, 3 and 4. And you know, after I read that scripture, she held my hand tight. And she acknowledged that she heard it. And I just thank her for that. We love her dearly, and we miss her a lot. And thank you again for coming.
I really miss my sister Millie because she was there for me when I was growing up. She was very caring. When I was going to school, she was always concerned about the stuff that I needed. And she did provide. She bought me a 3-piece suit, and I called it an Elvis Presley 3-piece suit because it was bright. And she got me a bike, she got all my books, oh my goodness. And I remember the times when I had to drive her to the hospital because she says she was not feeling good. I think she was pregnant with Anne Marie, and I took her right away. I was going real fast, broke all the speed rules, and I was taking her to the hospital. I goes, wait, I need to stop by the office because I forgot something. I said, wait a minute, I thought you need to go to the hospital. But anyway, she was always thinking about work, and she worked ever since she was a teenager. When she turned 18, she started working until the time that she retired. And I was really proud of what she did, because every time I pick her up, every time I see her at work, she would bring extra food, extra lunch, and she would feed the homeless that's just sitting there, not having lunch yet. And so she was very giving, and I miss her. And she was the one that actually, after our parents passed away, she basically gathered us all the time for us, special events, like make sure we had New Year's get together. That was her special day. New Year's we get together, and of course we had the Valentine's and Thanksgiving, Christmas, and so on. And I always saw that joy in her face every time we get together. She was always laughing too. I see her smile all the time. And so that's what I remember of her. You know, when we were starting out, she would let us drive her car so we'd get around. So, gosh, I really miss her. I can still hear her voices. I can still hear her laughter.
Hi, my name's Katrine, and I am one of Auntie Melly's goddaughters. What I'm going to read to you now is something that my dad, Boy de Villena, wrote up in memory of Auntie Melly. And he's unable to share it himself because he's currently in the Philippines, so I'll share it for him. Okay. Just as it was forthcoming for all of us, your mom finally will be resting in peace with the Almighty. But here's a little something I wanted to share about your mom, Melly. She was no doubt an awesome person with what we all know is with a very kind heart. She was there to meet us at the Los Angeles airport some 40 years ago when me and my wife being first set foot in the United States. She was there who anxiously will drive us around in her little Honda car if we needed something around the house, as we then were neighbors every time we moved homes. She was there when we needed a temporary shelter as we moved places during our early life here in America. She was there who didn't mind to drive hundreds of miles weekly to give me moral support while my wife Bing Bing was fighting with her breast cancer at the City of Hope in Pasadena. She was still there even at this late despite her health, and found time to see my wife Bing fight yet another cancer battle at the Kaiser Hospital at Zion. She was there for my family without having to ask. But most striking of her personality, this you will find if you come to visit her usual Quebec Court family home. The dinner table is always set 24/7 with her fine crystal wares, ready to cater anyone, friends, relatives, guests, neighbors, just anyone. And so also the hair set and curlers is typical of her homely person. This is she. Melly, she was just a simple woman with such a truly great and highly respectable personality. Melly, you know we will dearly miss you, and the love and affection, you precious spare time that you afforded us, my family, will stay in our hearts forever. May you rest in peace with the Almighty. And Melly, and for a final favor, please, I know you can hear me. Please say hi to my wife if you see her. Thank you, and for everything else. We love you, coming from the hearts of Boy de Villena and family. Love you, Auntie Melly. Thank you for being there for us, and just just want to say I miss you and say hi to my mom for me. Because you and Uncle Tony were like a second set of parents for me. And Anne's like my sister, so I love you guys so much. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Anne, also known in the family as Anne Marie. I'm the only child to my parents, but having so many cousins, it makes me feel like the oldest sibling. All of you are gathered here today because my mom either 1, housed you when you needed a roof over your head or a place to hide from someone. 2, fed you because you were hungry. 3, gave you money even when she had none to give. 4, lied for you because you knew she would. 5, babysat you because your parents needed a break. 6, drove you to wherever you needed to go because she always had joy being behind the wheel. 7, welcomed you when you first arrived to the U.S. 8, grew up with her and the Dial clan. 9, worshipped with her at People's Church when she was standing. Believe it or not, but all of you trusted her with your life. So 4 years ago, I believe that is when we were truly losing the person you all know and love. Due to dementia, her health was quickly deteriorating. Memories she had of her loved ones were fading. I truly do not wish anyone to go through this pain as a caretaker or the one being taken care of. Just imagine waking up every day in a time warp. Days where she didn't know where she was, what year it was, who we were, how to use the toilet, as well as not being able to use her legs. I saw the signs of dementia a few years before the medical assessment. Her doctor didn't want to acknowledge it due to her age. She told me to wait after a few months of dialysis to receive a proper diagnosis for dementia. After 2 months of dialysis and no improvement in memory, the neurologist gave me a scale on stages from 1 to 7. 1 meaning no memory loss to 7 being very severe. My mom was at a stage 5, moderately severe cognitive decline. Every year, her memory and health declined with dialysis. The last 2 years, she refused to eat, take her medications, and bathe. Once her health declined, so did all the family and friends. Almost everyone disappeared for the last 4 years of her life. Everyone was all of a sudden busy. I wasn't ashamed to ask for help. I begged and cried for it. Everyone heard me, yet only a few stepped up to actually rearrange their work schedule to help us take her to dialysis or watch her so that we could attend church. There truly isn't enough appreciation to give those that physically helped us out. It took a team to take care of my mom. The toughest member is Auntie Esther. She was my mom's main caretaker, feeding her, cleaning her, dressing her, giving her medications while enduring my mom yelling, kicking, spitting, hitting, and pinching her. Yet Auntie Esther had all the patience in the world with my mom. We made taking care of my mom look so easy to those who weren't there to see the 24-hour care. We had a strict routine and time frame to get her to doctor appointments and dialysis. I spent the first year sitting in dialysis for 4 hours, 3 days a week with my mom after spending an entire day at work, and still had an infant to take care of, a husband to make time for, and a son in elementary to complete homework with and take to extracurricular activities. That was just the first year of dialysis. If that wasn't enough stress on our plate, our soon-to-be 2-year-old was being tested for developmental delays and then later diagnosed with autism. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday evenings were dialysis for my mom. Then we had to add Monday and Wednesday mornings for speech therapy and OT outside of our home for Jackson. Tuesday through Friday were in-home behavior therapies, also for Jackson. Our family was stretched thin, physically, emotionally, and spiritually drained. I'm telling you the pain we all went through, but we kept strong through it all because of our faith in God. In Philippians 4:13, for I can do everything through Christ who gives me strength. Family and friends, yes, my mom was the most generous. Yes, she loved her family. Yes, she enjoyed celebrating and gathering around you to make sure you were taken care of, but she lacked was taking care of herself. She cared so much for everyone else that she failed to take care of her own health. I want to tell you that although we had a rough 4 years, God worked in all of our hearts and within our relationships. He taught us the gift of appreciating our loved ones. Let me tell you, my mom and I did not have a great mother-daughter relationship, especially after my dad passed away. I believe my mom and I did not properly grieve. We were both trying to work out our relationship with God. Our paths finally crossed during her last 12 days. She listened to me read passages from the Bible. I held her hands as I prayed for her, hoping to keep her encouraged to continue to trust God. All the built-up anger I had during the 4 years just washed away. I told her whatever we went through, I forgave her and prayed she forgave me. I felt that this was the most memorable 12 days of my life with her. The week before she passed away, it was just me, my mom, and our friend Kate in the room. And my mom said, I have a good daughter. My heart is better, not bitter, because I trust in the Lord. The day before she went to be with the Lord, I asked her, are you ready to be with Jesus? This question took her days to finally agree. And she said, I actually had to ask her twice just to make sure. I told her it was okay to meet my dad at the gates of heaven, along with my grandparents and everyone else who had passed away. I told her it was time for her to celebrate her life with them. I went to bed around 11 that night to her heavily snoring. Around 3 a.m., Devin checked on her breathing and she was okay. At 5 a.m., Auntie Esther walked to my mom's bedside, told her she was going to shower, and as she walked out of the room, Auntie Esther heard my mom's last big breath. Mom, I thank you for loving my family, telling Devin and Jackson, I love you, baby. I'm so proud that both of them were able to tell you, I love you, Mama, and truly mean it. Mom, I love you. We will miss you. Thank you for all of the memories.